I'm going to show you how we introduce a foal to the clippers for the first time. So instead of going directly to the foal, I'm going to clip the mom so she can listen to it and play with the cord. And once in a while I might just not touch her with the clipper, but touch her with my hand and go back to mom. Very non-threatening that way. Back to touching her. Next we'll put a halter on her and let her have a turn also. So now I put her halter on and we're going to introduce him to her for the first time without her having the opportunity to leave. Although I don't see it being a problem since it really didn't matter to her while we were doing it, my helper. So first I'm going to turn him on and just hang out with him in front of her. Maybe touch a little bit. But I like that she's curious for it. I never want to push the subject with them if they're not showing some curiosity, because ultimately they will end up fearing it. So it's on now, and I'll turn it off. And I'll pet her with them while they're off. Turn it back on, and go back to petting her. So I'm going to pet her with them in my hand. She's getting to feel some of the vibration, but not all of it. And I'm going to just run my hands all over so that she gets to feel. You never want to do it to just one side. So that was pretty nonchalant for a baby that's never seen them. So the next step is to turn them on and actually let her feel the actual clippers. I'm not going to clip her muzzle at this point in time. She's going to a warm blood inspection and they don't appreciate it being done. But we will end up giving her a bridle path if she stands for it, and maybe just trim up the outside of the ears, clean her up a little bit. So she's being very matter of fact about everything. You notice what I'm doing is I'm itching, I'm scratching her. She learns that they actually feel good. And there's no reason to fear them. Now I'm going to attempt to clip a little bit of a bridle path. It'll probably be the only real clipping she gets today, other than maybe cleaning up her ears a little bit, just so that it's easier to braid when we do that for the inspection. So I'm turning them on, and I'm going to go back to petting, and I'm letting the wire touch her all over. And I'm just going to pinch some hair. Just a little clip, clip, clip. And give her a big pat. That was good. So, since she's standing so well for that, we're going to go ahead and try just closing the ear. And I'm going to do it a couple times without the clippers. But closing the ear, and then just taking a little bit of this fuzz off just to clean up the look. We want to leave the inside hair for protection from the bugs. So we're going to rub it again. Always go back to whatever was the most comfortable thing for her last. She was totally okay with us clipping her bridle path. So now we're going to let the vibration of this outside touch the ear and scratch. You can see she didn't hesitate, but it's a little ticklish. She doesn't know. So we're just going to do it again before we actually try to clip it. A couple more times. And then a slight pinch and down. I didn't go all the way. I just, as soon as she started to hesitate, I want to take it off and make sure that that was a good experience. We don't want her thinking the clippers are going to hurt her and cause a fight. So back to desensitizing the ear a little bit to the touch and down. That was very good that time. So back to touching the ear. And you can see a little hesitation. Back to what feels good. What was no big deal for her. There. So we really don't want to do anything more than that. Just a little cleanup, and that's good. So we're going to try to do this side. Sometimes one side is okay and the other one is not, so we'll see how Miss America does. So we are going to massage the ear, touch it with the outside of the clippers. She's very nonchalant for it, so we'll do it again. A couple pinches and a down. You can see right as she started to take her head away, I'm going to bring her back and scratch. Go back to touching her with the clippers and all the places she was okay with last. Rebuild her confidence and her trust. So you can see this side is going to be maybe her more sensitive side. So we're just going to spend a little bit more time touching the ear. Good girl. Quick little sweeps so that nothing's on her too long. Doesn't have to be perfect the first time. Re-desensitize the ear and touch again. And let her know that was good girl. We don't want her getting in the habit of pulling the head away. So we'll do one more little cleanup on this edge right here. And we were getting ready to end there, but because she disagreed with it, we'll go back to doing it somewhere that she agrees with. The biggest thing is ending on a good note. So, desensitize the ear. I'm just cupping it and pulling it down, cupping it and pulling it down. Touch it with a clipper, touch it with a clipper, and we're going to be all done there. So, we'll give her a big pat. For a baby that's never seen the clippers before, I really couldn't ask for much more. And she's a little bit cleaned up, so she'll look fancy for her inspection.